It is a great day to be in historic Ellicott City. Don't let the weather tell you otherwise. We're going to keep the sunshine in here. And I am so glad to have many of our partners who helped facilitate this special announcement. We stand today at a picturesque spot on the edge of the Patapsco River, just a few yards from the oldest surviving train depot in America, where the Baltimore and Ohio Railroad completed its first 13-mile stretch in 1831. What was then Ellicott Mills is now Ellicott City, a community that has known prosperity, triumph, but also tragedy. As a river town at the confluence of several streams at the bottom of a rocky hill, Ellicott City has suffered through many flooding events over the years. But the most recent devastating events in 2011, 2016, and 2018 demonstrated to all of us that Ellicott City needed a plan that would truly protect it for future generations and not just a Band-Aid. Extreme weather events like the storms that ravage this town are becoming more common and more intense as our climate changes and grows more unpredictable. Given this reality, Howard County is rightly focusing on sustainable renewal as we move past our rapid growth phase. As we see the lowest numbers of building permit applications and development submissions in years right now, and we're planning a future marked by reinvestment and revitalization, Ellicott City will be the symbol for that future. When I became your Howard County executive, a few months after the most recent deadly flood, I told our team, including Shana, that we needed a comprehensive solution that enhanced public safety, supported our business and property owners, maintained Ellicott City's historic charm, and was community-driven. We developed our Ellicott City Safe and Sound Plan in early 2019. We created a holistic set of initiatives that includes water conveyance projects, water retention areas, warning systems, stream maintenance, and other community supports. Our goal was to preserve as many Main Street buildings and character as possible, while reducing the level and velocity of floodwaters. And we are balancing preservation with public safety. Today, I'm excited to announce that we have secured funding for the largest and most impactful portion of our Ellicott City Safe and Sound Plan, a tunnel that is approximately 5,000 feet long and 18 feet in diameter, running up to 100 feet below the ground, just a few feet away from where we're standing today. This is a massive, complex, and costly project, but had been prematurely rejected as part of a previous plan. But our team has stayed fully committed to overcoming all challenges and providing the best solutions for tomorrow. And I want to personally thank our Department of Public Works, who has worked diligently and nonstop to ensure that we have these projects done. And each time I went to them and asked, try a little harder, they always did. Thank you. You know, we worked with our partners to secure a $75 million loan through the EPA's Water Infrastructure Finance and Innovation Act, also known as WIFIA. And I want to thank our finance team who helped lead that effort. They worked not only to help secure our AAA bond rating once again, but ensure that we were quite competitive in that. Now, this WIFIA loan is a flexible, low-interest loan that will allow Howard County to construct this tunnel, which will have the capacity of carrying approximately 26,000 gallons of stormwater per second away from the streets and foundations and directly into Patapsco River. That's about the amount of water in an in-ground swimming pool carried away each and every second. It will be one of the most important, impactful, and transformational projects that Public Works has done in the history of Howard County. We're also so grateful to our federal representatives, such as Congressman Sarbanes, Senators Van Hollen and Cardin, and many others, and to our dear friends with the EPA and at the state level, Secretary Grumbles. Thank you so much for you and your team and your leadership and your commitment to Howard County and the entire state. And while the WIFI alone is critical, it is only one part of the resources we're making available to protect our treasured town. Over the past 4 years, including today's announcement, we've dedicated approximately $165 million in county, state, and federal funding to make our Safe and Sound plan a reality. The total funding for Ellicott City flood relief is now more than $130 million, higher than the previous 4-year period. And during the recently completed session of the Maryland General Assembly, we received more than $15 million through the efforts of Senator Katie Fry Hester, Delegate Courtney Watson, Senator Guy Gazzoni, and our entire state delegation, including Senator Clarence Lamb. We thank them for their support in bringing home a total of over $40 million for our plan and related projects since we took office. Please give them a big round of applause. Our recent county budgets have also included $50 million for protection and mitigation in Ellicott City. Two of our important projects, known as the H7 Pond and the Quaker Mill Pond, are under construction right now. And you can see them on the edge of our town. We expect both projects to be completed by next year. Once complete, these ponds are expected to retain nearly 7.5 million gallons of water during severe weather events, about the size of a football field covered with 23 feet of water. These ponds and other investments that are part of our Safe and Sound plan will tremendously reduce the risk of damage and, most importantly, the risk of lost lives during these types of storms. These efforts are costly, but they are necessary to save lives and protect Howard County's second largest economic driver. We will implement bold solutions to combat climate change and save our planet one important town at a time. While we can never eliminate the risk of flooding, we can deploy innovative technology and teamwork to reduce the toll of devastating storms. I'm so incredibly grateful for our federal and state and local partners, our community, which has actively participated in developing these plans. And this year, Ellicott City is celebrating its 250th anniversary, a meaningful milestone for this cherished historic town. 250 years is a big deal. Together, we are writing that new next chapter in the story of Ellicott City, making it a national model of cooperation, resilience, and ensuring its vibrancy for another 250 years and beyond. Thank you.
Good morning, everybody. How are you? Isn't it kind of appropriate that it's raining? Don't you think? It is, right? So it is such a pleasure to join you in the heart of the historic heart of Howard County for really just a wonderful moment to celebrate the progress that you all are making here. I want to thank you, County Executive Ball and Shana, for welcoming me, and I want to thank you, Congressman Sarbanes and Secretary Grumbles. I have to call you Ben. I have known Ben for a decade. He is such an amazing leader here in Maryland. I want to it's such an honor to join all of you. You know, as EPA's Assistant Administrator for Water, I spend a lot of time in communities all around the country seeing firsthand the transformative investment of smart water investments like the one that we're celebrating here today. Water is essential to communities, to our way of life, to public health. And you can look no farther than Ellicott City for that. If you think about it, this city was built on this beautiful river, right? The commerce, the community that was built around this river. But we also know that water can really wreak havoc, as the community here knows too well. The community here has been hit by the climate crisis, flooding in other communities around the country. We're struggling with issues like drought, sea level rise. And so the WIFIA program, one of the, I think, most effective funding and financing programs that we have at the EPA is here at work as well. Today we're celebrating the announcement of a $75 million loan to Howard County to continue the excellent work that's happening here. This will help 300,000 residents of Howard County be safe. It will include a range of investments that the county executive talked about, but what I also wanted to share is that this WIFIA loan is actually going to save the residents of Howard County $13 million because it is such a low-cost financing instrument that we're able to provide. So just think about how you can, the executive can use that $13 million for other key investments. At the same time, the position, the investment, the loan will actually create about 900 jobs right here in the county. And so just really incredible. Since Congress really established the WIFIA program, the EPA has had the great honor of managing these key investments. We've closed about 85 loans in communities like this all around the country, financing about $32 billion in water infrastructure investments and creating 100,000 jobs all across the country. And, you know, what we're celebrating here today in Howard County, it's just the beginning of what is to come because of the bipartisan infrastructure law. President Biden's vision for infrastructure investment, coupled with bipartisan congressional action, means that communities are really going to benefit from these kinds of investments. And I want to really acknowledge the Maryland congressional delegation, you, Congressman Sarbanes, the senators, Representative Ofumi, I'm going to say that wrong, and I apologize. Please correct me. Mfume, thank you. Because of their commitment and leadership, EPA will be investing about $50 billion in the next 5 years in projects just like this. The state of Maryland in 2020 alone will be receiving $145 million for investments like this, and that is one of 5 years of investment that your congressional delegation has helped make happen for your community. So really, I just want to, it's such an honor to join you all today. I want to say congratulations for your vision, and I can't wait to see what's to come. So have a wonderful day, everyone. Thank you.
This is a great day. This is a triumph of collaboration at all levels. Government at the federal, state, and local level collaborating with community that stepped forward with incredible array of ideas in this instance. Pulling it all together is not easy. County Executive Ball, I want to begin by thanking you for your leadership in this effort, because what you want to do is harness the best instincts in people when they are responding to a tragic event, and then channel that in a way that can produce the results that we're seeing here today, which is this announcement of a historic investment in historic Ellicott City. So I'm very proud to join with you. I want to salute the members of the General Assembly delegation that are here, Senator Lamb, Senator Hester, Delegate Watson. I want to thank Secretary Grumbles for his work and being part of this partnership. You know, I think it was 2014, and Assistant Administrator Fox, thank you for being here, for your leadership, for your comments on what this represents in terms of a national investment in infrastructure. But this WIFIA opportunity began as a kind of pilot back in 2014. It was then converted into a permanent resource that could step forward and help local districts like Howard County take advantage of innovative financing, as you say now, savings of $13 million that the county executive can find other uses for. This is the kind of project that is happening all over the country. Sadly, the effects of climate change are such that we're going to have to see this sort of collaboration in spades as we move forward. But the resiliency that's demonstrated here in this project, I think, is a template for what other communities can do around the country. And when we talk about resiliency, we're not just talking about the sort of infrastructure resiliency that's represented by this project. We're talking about the resiliency of this community. We know that Ellicott City experienced 2 100-year floods in a 2-year period. Completely unimaginable. I mean, the first flood was unimaginable, and then we had the second one. And across the country, people witnessed this. I mean, the images of the destruction that imposed on this community are kind of burned into the collective minds of many. So the fact that the community had the resiliency, and small business owners and others, to step up and say, we can find a way to salvage this and take it to the next level, is a real testament to the spirit of the people here in Howard County and in Ellicott City. And I want to thank, above all else, I want to thank you for stepping forward and demonstrating that kind of resolve and commitment and resiliency. It's made a huge difference. So County Executive Ball, all my fellow elected leaders here today, on behalf of the Maryland Federal Delegation, we've been very proud to help support the WFIA program, these kinds of investments and financing. We're looking forward to what this North Tunnel can do in the future. We're thrilled at the job creation that it represents. Again, an example of what these projects can do across the country. And we're looking forward to the continued leadership that Ellicott City demonstrates, not just here in Howard County, but much more broadly than that. So congratulations on this historic day here in Howard County. Congratulations.
Hello, everybody. This truly is a really exciting day. I'd like to thank the county executive and his team and congratulate you on this amazing, amazing loan. I'd like to thank Administrator Fox and our federal delegation for all of their support in getting here, and of course, all of the staff of Howard County. This is not your average infrastructure project, and this is also not your average town. We will celebrate 250 years here of resiliency, and as the congressman said, the residents, the small business owners that have made this happen, they've survived not only 2 1,000-year floods, but also a pandemic. And we're here to come back strong and to go for another 250 years. Today, we're one step closer to being that much more resilient. And I'd like to really thank my partner in crime here, Delegate Courtney Watson, for her help in the House of Delegates. Together, we have managed to bring back almost $40 million to the Safe and Sound project. This includes $12 million for the North Tunnel, $2 million for the T1 Pond, and $1 million for the Maryland Avenue culverts just this year. But of course, it wouldn't be possible without the entire Howard County delegation, including Senator Lamb and Senator Gazzoni, as well as strong leadership in the House in terms of President Ferguson and Speaker Adrian Jones. We've learned a lot during this process, and you know what? Flooding is not unique to Ellicott City. As we've heard, it's a problem across the entire United States. And as a coastal state on the Chesapeake Bay, with its countless tributaries and flooding impacts, almost every jurisdiction across the state of Maryland. And fixing these issues in Ellicott City requires this large-scale infrastructure projects. And maybe not everybody needs a 5,000-meter tunnel, but people need help. And I'd just like to give a shout out to something that we've been working on for the past 3 years, which is the Office of Resilience, which Secretary Grumbles knows all about, as well as Secretary Strickland. After 3 years of working to get this office set up in the Maryland Department of Emergency Management, we passed this bill this year. And what this Office of Resilience will do is to help local communities like Ellicott City across the entire state of Maryland put together the plans they need to become more resilient, and then go after that bipartisan infrastructure loan, which Administrator Fox mentioned, so that we can really make the entire state of Maryland more resilient. In closing, Ellicott City is the birthplace of many firsts. The first railroad station, the first national road, the first state park, and soon we will be one of the first mill towns to rebuild itself into a model across Maryland, across the United States, across the entire world for resilience. I'd like to thank our partners at all levels again and turn it over to Delegate Watson.
Thank you, everyone. I really cannot stop smiling today. This is such a great day. And I want to make sure that we all recognize, yes, this is a partnership with all levels of government. But the fact remains that if we did not have Dr. Calvin Ball at the helm here, we would not be where we are today. When we were first elected in 2018, he said to me, as the new representative for the House of Delegates in Ellicott City, he said, we need to think big. I don't want to put a Band-Aid on this problem. I want to fix the problem. And there were naysayers who said, oh, you're never going to be able to build a tunnel. You're never going to be able to get the funding. Where are you going to get that funding? And Senator Hester and myself, we said, we'll get the funding. Give us a little bit of time. It takes a while to build these projects, but we will get the funding. And with Dr. Ball's team at the county, with our help and team at the state, and with our federal partners, we're doing it. This is happening. And that's what I want our residents and our citizens, our shop owners to know. And we have Angie Tersicle here with us, who will speak in a minute. She's one of the major retailers, restaurants on Main Street. We want them to know that this is happening. We're going to fix this problem. It's underway. And my gratitude goes to all of our partners, and especially Dr. Calvin Ball, who without him, none of us would be here today. So we thank you very much for being here, and I am just going to keep smiling.
Hi there. Good morning, everyone. My name is Jillian Joseph. I'm the Executive Director of the Ellicott City Partnership. On behalf of the partnership and the small businesses and the property owners and the residents we represent here in the Historic District, I just want to say we are here for it. We're here for it. This town is ready. We're ready to move the needle of progress forward for our economy, and that absolutely couldn't be done without flood mitigation. These funds for flood mitigation really represent real progress. We're thrilled by the announcement of this funding. We're grateful to everyone involved in securing a vibrant future for Old Ellicott City, and we know it will make a difference in the lives of our constituents. So thank you to the EPA again. Just echoing Courtney, we're here for it. We're ready. Thank you. Woo!
I wrote notes because I'm really good at speaking on the fly, but then cameras show up and then I'm like, I don't know what to say. And then, of course, I had to write down what my name was. So for those that don't know, I'm Angie Tersigel. My husband, Michelle, and I are the owners of Tersigel's French Country Restaurant, and we are part of a long-standing family legacy. And we have been located on Main Street for more than 45 years, which, fun facts about restaurants, that's a really long time. And then many people have said and alluded to the fact that we are celebrating the 250th anniversary of this community. When you put 45 next to that, it seems like nothing. It is a labor of love, though, and being a part of this community is a labor of love. And I'm a huge fan of the word resilient because I feel like it means will the trials and tribulations ever end? And we have been tested to our most maximum capacity. I go to work every day alongside many beautiful people that represent this town. that want to be a part of this community, that have thriving businesses in this community. It's nice to say I've been here for 45 years, but I love it when new businesses come. It means they see the value in what we're doing and want to be a part of this community. So it's a rare opportunity that I get to see so many beautiful people consistently going to bat for us. And so I thank you personally for what this means, what this journey means for this community. And, we're investing in a legacy. I have 2 boys, and I'm investing in their future and my grandchildren's future. And so on behalf of everybody, it's truly an honor to be the one to be able to say thank you so much for the hard work that you guys have continued to do at local, state, and federal levels. Your partnership is really taking us into the future, and that's exactly where Ellicott City needs to go.
We will now take questions from the press, if there are any questions.
Yeah, I have a question. Can someone, maybe from DPW, who I see back here, can you give us the timeline from groundbreaking to completion? And the question 2, or 1A, is could this project have been completed without this loan, and if so, how?
Mark or Zach, please make your way to the podium.
Good morning, I'm Zach Hollenbeck. I'm the project manager for the Ellicott City North Tunnel project from the Department of Public Works. So timeline-wise, this is obviously a major undertaking, so it's a multi-year project. We're hoping to complete the design early this fall, and then we would break ground as soon as possible. We're looking at strategies to do that as quickly as possible, including through the use of a construction manager at risk model, which is unique and brings the contractor on board to work with our design team early in the process. And that helps us break ground as soon as we possibly can. So that's and the timeline. It's a couple years for construction once we get going. So we're looking at ways that we can do that as expeditiously as possible every day. The financing part of that, I don't, do you want to?
I'll take that one. This incredibly transformative WIFIA loan, coupled with our investment from our state partners and local partners, is the only way that this extended North Tunnel of this scope and scale and magnitude that could actually address the issues in a meaningful way to lower the speed and amount of water could have happened.
What are the terms of the loan in terms of how many years to pay it back, and the money that's not been provided, does that come out of taxes, or does that get shifted from other capital projects? Just how does that all work?
Rafu, would you mind coming up to answer the questions about the loan terms? Thank you so much.
Well, thank you. Rafi Hille, Director of Finance. The loan terms are very favorable. We closed the rate at 3.17%, which is way below what we would have gotten for a GEO bond for a 30-year term, which currently the deal we closed was at approximately 4.8. So, which is wonderful news for us. And that's where the $30 million savings came from. Well, it's over 30 years. And the nice thing about this is that the rates are locked in, and until we draw, there is no penalty. Whereas the way we do our bond issuance, normally we issue bonds when projects are completed, and then the rate sets every year because that's when we go to market. But we are locking down a very favorable interest rate now, with the possibility that if the rates ever fall, we will be able to go back to WIFIA and renegotiate our loans. So this is the best of both worlds for us as a county. Thank you.
I have another question about the project itself, and I'm sorry, you're standing next to the tunnel board. If you could explain, have you used one of those so far in the project, the current project, or does this loan mean we get to see one of these at work here? I mean, we've seen them.
Yeah. Sure, we're lovely illustration of the tunnel boring machine there. So, so we're this, of course, is our first tunnel boring machine project. The machine itself will be representative of what you see there, and it basically is a machine that will be reconstructed or acquired new. We're looking at the different ways that we can get that for our project specifically. And once it's assembled, it'll be some 300 and some feet long in itself, and it'll be lowered gradually and set up in the tunnel. And then once it bores through, it'll bore somewhere between right around 50 feet a day of progress.
One more question? No? Okay. Thank you all so much for coming today. Have a great rest of your day.
Great job, team.